Welcome back to another episode of Housing for Good, where we talk about this intersection of real estate and community involvement. And a lot of these stories, we've had agents that have been in the real estate industry for quite a while and moved into some nonprofit adventures here in Tucson. And today we're doing the opposite. We've got someone that's been heavily involved with specific causes here in Tucson and been licensed for a while, but fairly new into really actively participating. So we've got Angel Stubblefield. Welcome.
Thank you.
So you got licensed originally when?
April of 2022.
Okay, and then you've been really active as of last year or so, correct?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Last year. Yeah, unfortunately, about 2 months after I got my license, my daughter was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma. So it was her third cancer diagnosis, which is unfortunate, but she's doing really well. So we're focusing on that now.
How old is your daughter?
She just turned 18 in February.
And she's dealing through her third iteration of cancer?
Yes.
And is this, forgive my ignorance, but is it the same cancer, or has it been different types of cancer? How does that?
No, it's been, so this last time she's been diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma. The first two diagnoses she had, it was acute lymphoblastic leukemia T-cell.
Okay. I don't know what those words mean, but it sounds extremely serious. And how old was she the very first time?
She was 3.5.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And is she your oldest daughter, your only daughter?
She is my oldest. I have 4 children.
Okay.
3 girls and a boy. So,
wow.
Keep me busy.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. So how do you find time for real estate?
That's a good question. I fit it in where I can.
Perfect. So let's talk a little bit about the real estate side of things, because I do want to get into your nonprofit work, but I want to make sure people know that you are active and out there in the real estate world. So are you, do you work with buyers, sellers? What do you have, like a specific?
At the moment, I am still fairly new, so I am open to whatever business comes my way. I would love to help whoever needs it.
And I'm going to ask you a question as to why you chose Omni as a place to do business.
So when I originally got licensed, I did fall into new builds. And honestly, because of my daughter's diagnosis, I couldn't afford the time. They expect you to be in the office from relatively business hours, right. So from 10 to 6, and I couldn't afford that time. So I ended up actually talking to a friend of mine, and she works with Omni. Her name is still Clickline, and she was like, I think you'd be a good fit here.
Okay. Well, I know I like Omni, locally owned company, and Calvin Case over there is doing a great job. And a good friend of mine, Laura, does training and development.
I love Laura.
Yeah, everybody loves Laura. Although I have to say, if Laura, if you're watching, I don't ever want to be on your bad side. So if Laura and I ever disagree, I'm on her side. Yeah. Because she is an extremely wonderful person, but she's a little feisty, so I know she could. Yeah. If I'm on the other side of that, it could be a little damaging. But so as you're getting into real estate, I think the thing that first caught my attention was that I immediately saw an article in the paper about, I think it was in Biz Tucson, where you had done a fundraiser, or helped organize a fundraiser for Candlelighters?
Yes, Candlelighters of Southern Arizona. It is a wonderful organization that's run by a woman here locally named Beverly Tidwell. She is an amazing advocate for the families dealing with childhood and pediatric cancer.
It's specific to pediatric cancer. It's not, is it?
She does a lot of work with the clinic. The clinic is mostly pediatric oncology patients, but they do also work with different hematological disorders like sickle cell, stuff like that. And she helps those families as well. Okay.
And what kind of support does Candlelighters provide then?
They provide a lot of financial support for families. Every year they put on the senior prom it's the Dream Night Prom, which is something that when you have a child going through chemotherapy and radiation and stuff, they don't get to experience a whole lot of like normal childhood things, and prom's one of them. Unfortunately, you have to kind of isolate and stay away from the general public. And she does a really, really great thing where she involves not only the patients, but also their siblings, and they can bring like a friend. This last Dream Night Prom was actually just passed a couple weeks ago, and they had it at the Pima Air and Space Museum.
Oh, nice. What a wonderful venue.
Yeah. So she does stuff like that, trying to get the families involved. We have a camp that comes up in June every year. Like I said, the financial assistance, just support groups for not only teens and kids, but also for families as well.
Did she have a child that went through this, or how did she get involved?
Yes. Unfortunately, her son did pass away. She had a brain tumor, and that's how she got involved. And she has been an amazing advocate for everybody that she comes across.
And you mentioned siblings, because that was going to be a question. You have 4 children, and your oldest has been going through these challenges, but that takes a lot of time and energy. How does it work with the other kids?
It's it can be challenging sometimes. Unfortunately, I did have to spend a lot of time in the hospital, and they really do try and get that support for these kids. It's hard. Yeah. It's not something that is really an easy thing to go through just in itself. And then when you have children that aren't affected, well, they are affected by it, right. But when they're not sick, it's, how do you explain that to them? Mm-hmm. She does also provide, Candlelighters helps provide like a way to get it out to her to where you can learn how to talk to your kids about it too. Okay. She's really good.
That was kind of where I was going, to see if there was education or if it was event-based, but it sounds like it's the whole gamut. If you're a family going through this, Candlelighters is something that can give you that support in many different areas. Mm-hmm. Is it I know she's local, but is she part of a national organization, or did she just create this herself?
No, it is a national organization. So I actually encountered Candlelighters when I was a kid up in Southern Nevada.
As a child?
Yes. My brother had cancer as well. So
So you're one of the siblings then that experienced this?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So that is just an interesting kind of add-on to the story here. So you grew up, was it an older or younger brother?
It was my younger brother.
So you grew up with a younger brother, and then Candlelighters helped your family. And that was in Nevada though. So when you got here, did you seek out Candlelighters, or how did that come? How did you make the connection with Candlelighters?
Actually here, the social worker at the hospital, Laura Davis with Banner, is hands down one of the best social workers I've ever encountered. She takes care of the families in clinic, and she really does. She supports them. She makes sure that they have support through either different charities, or the Candlelighters really has stepped up and just been amazing towards our family.
That's very just interesting that you're sort of a legacy with this program, not necessarily in a good way, but I mean, you've seen it from both sides of it then, as a child and as a parent.
Yeah.
When you were in Nevada, do you remember some of the things that Candlelighters did for you there as a recipient, like as a sibling? Like what kind of support you got from them?
Yeah. So I was in Las Vegas, and we were fortunate there that a lot of the casinos really stepped up and made a valiant effort to like include us with Halloween, Christmas. We used to have what was it called? I forgot exactly what it was called, but like we would all get on a plane and we'd fly around Vegas and we'd go look for Santa. It was a Christmas thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
you were on the Santa watch. Did you ever find him?
They said that they spotted him, but I didn't see it outside the window.
Okay. It was probably on the other side of the plane.
Probably.
No, he's quick though. He's quick. So
yeah. That was a lot of fun though.
But how do people support Candlelighters then? Is it if we're not a casino, is there a way that you can still support?
Well, it is a 501 nonprofit, and so you can donate to Candlelighters. They do charity events throughout the year.
Here in Tucson?
Yes, here in Tucson. I unfortunately don't have any of those.
That's right. We can link to the website, and I'm assuming Southern Arizona has its own chapter page. So you can drill down into those. And then I don't know if this is connected or not, but we talked briefly. You intrigued me because you were advancing your career and opening up a lemonade stand. Is that? Oh,
so it's another charity that's also a nationwide charity. It's called Alex's Lemonade Stand.
Okay.
And yeah, so in June I'm going to be holding a lemonade stand. I don't have the details totally ironed out yet, but
this is separate from Candlelighters.
Yes.
What's the story behind the lemonade stand?
So in the early 2000s, there was a young woman, or a young girl. She was a child. She was like, I believe, 4 years old, named Alexandra. And she was diagnosed with cancer. Unfortunately, she has passed away since then, but she she wanted to help her doctors and help with the research and furthering research and treatment options for kids that are going through cancer.
This 4-year-old did. I mean, yeah.
So she started a lemonade stand and took donations and sold lemonade, and then she donated all that money towards her hospital to the doctors so that they could further their research. And she passed away when she was 8. When she knew that that time was kind of coming, they held their last lemonade stand, and she actually raised $1 million. So
that's some good lemonade. That's some good lemonade.
That is very inspirational to me. So I don't know if I'll get to $1 million, but we'll see.
So that's just carrying on her legacy, I think, is so powerful.
Yeah.
I've seen that in a lot of organizations where the families of those the young children that pass, or really anyone, that a lot of times the families come together and they use that grief to create something very powerful and wonderful to help others. And it sounds like you found 2 of these organizations here in Southern Arizona.
Yeah, I'm trying to take the cards that I was dealt and turn it into something positive.
Now there's a very low hanging fruit of turning lemons into lemonade, but I'm gonna leave that for others because it's too on the nose. So how do people follow you and get involved? Like when you have more details about the lemonade stand, or are you on social media, or what are ways that people can connect with you? Yeah,
right now I do have, I have a website through my brokerage at Omni. It is angelica.viewtoalltucsonhomes.com.
Okay. That's okay. We'll put a link on we're fancy. We'll put a link on the screen for you.
I also have a Facebook page. That's Angel Stubblefield.
Okay. Your personal page?
Not just personal. I have a business too.
Okay. And both under Angel Stubblefield?
Yes.
Okay. So Facebook is probably the best way to sort of keep up with you that way, and then in real estate with the website. Mm-hmm. Okay. Man, so this is exciting. I mean, you're really doing... This is what I really enjoy about doing this type of work, is that I get to learn. Like, this Candlelighters has affected your life in so many ways, and honestly, I'd never heard of it until you mentioned it. And then, of course, I saw the article in the magazine about your fundraiser, and I'm just thinking to myself, this is just someone who's just gotten into this career and, already kind of making a huge impact in Tucson. And I get to learn about these events through people like you. So I really appreciate all the work that you're doing. I hope others join in and support you, and count me in for some lemonade in June. Yeah. And we'll share that element too when we get more information.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Tom.
Thank you.